Hi everybody, and thanks for taking the time again to join us on another Wildside Walks. Today we're in a little village called Rainow, which is right on the edge of the Peak District, and we're looking out over towards the Cheshire Plain, which is the direction we're going to be walking to a place called Bollington. We're going to incorporate the well-known folly up on the hill there called White Nancy, and then we're going to sort of dip down from the ridge and explore some footpaths that literally go through people's gardens. I mean, they're amazing little paths. Quite hidden away, you wouldn't really know them unless you knew them, but yeah, it's a lovely little walk. It's not too far. Again, there's a little place at the end, a little stream where you can let the dogs have a cool down at the end, and of course there's a pub at the end, a dog friendly pub. So yeah, let's get going. We've come up from Macclesfield. We've driven through the village of Rainow, and just as you're about to leave the village, you'll see the Robin Hood pub on your left. You need to take the little side road down that goes along the side of the pub and just park the car there. There is a bus stop there also, so you could always get the bus from Macclesfield. And the footpath is literally just on the same side as the pub, or the back of the pub, and it's up some steps between a gap in the hedge. It's a bit of a tight squeeze in the summertime, but if you just find your way up that path just for a few yards, you'll see a stile on your left, and when you've gone over that stile, you just cross the fields, follow the path. You'll go over several walls with steps in them until you find yourself dropping down towards this little stream here. And then we're going to squeeze round and do a right, going back up the hill again. It's not the most direct walk, this. It does do a little bit of crisscrossing, but I've tried to incorporate sort of the scenic bits, so it is worth doing. And I think Neve's about to get washed away in the stream, so we better go. Come on guys, let's go. Go on, Neve. As you come up from the brook, you'll see a dry stone wall right in front of you, and you need to follow this going uphill with the wall on your left. You'll go over again a couple more fields that go over the walls with steps built in them until you hit another footpath which will take you left.
You'll soon hit this byway and you need to turn right and follow the lane up the hill. It's like a small lane that will eventually turn into a track. Further down the lane, you'll pass a row of stone cottages. The views from here are truly wonderful. You can look out over Bollington, Poxshriggley and right out over to the Cheshire Plain. And this handy bench gives you a chance to soak up those views. We then follow the track down on the left hand side, heading slightly downhill. You'll see that the track splits into two and the footpath follows the left hand side. This takes you through into the main street of Rainow Low. You can hardly call Rainow Low a village, it's more like an outcrop of buildings perched on the hillside overlooking the Kerridge Ridge. What a beautiful place to live. I'm not even sure where the name comes from. You would imagine Rainow Low would be below Rainow, but in fact it's higher. Further along you'll come to the main shopping area where you can buy homemade jam and honey from the local Cheshire bees. I love how the locals have used wildflowers to help the gardens blend in with the landscape. The path then drops down some steps and goes along the side of Rainow Low Farm, heading towards Bollington. This place is a haven for the butterflies and bees that are attracted from all the wildflowers and long grasses which are allowed to grow. When you've crossed the small yard, you'll go through another gate which will take you to the path that leads down between two dry stone walls along the side of the farm. This path takes you down to what feels like a tunnel of trees. The whole of the summer air is filled with the sound of songbirds and bees. It really is a beautiful summer's day. Perfect day for making hay while the sun still shines. Follow the field, keeping the fence to your right. You'll cross a small stream and eventually come to a bridleway. You need to turn right. It's at this point you'll come across a wonderful surprise. Tucked away in this idyllic location is the award-winning farm-made tea rooms. It's an absolute perfect place for some mid-walk refreshments. So after all that tea and cake, we pick up the Gritstone Trail and head down some very steep steps. And then it's back up some more steep steps. At this point you'll pass Savio House, which was formerly known as Inglesley Hall. This is where the Gaskell family used to live. Notice how these heavy iron gates have the shape of White Nancy designed into them. It's only early August, but the horse chestnuts are well on their way. It's through another heavy iron gate, and then it's straight down to the river for the moment the dogs have been waiting for. Cool down time. The path crosses the stream over this fabulous stone bridge. We'll come off the Gritstone Trail and head for a little detour. It's a little detour that's well worth it. This is known locally as Inglesleigh Falls. This magnificent waterfall is fed from Clough's Pool, which was a mill pond that used to feed Inglesleigh Clough Mill, which was situated a little further down the valley. The mill had the largest water wheel in mainland Britain with a diameter of 56 feet. There was a larger one, but that was the Laxey wheel, which was on the Isle of Man. We're now climbing up through Walk Mill Wood, small woodland that's managed by the Woodland Trust. When you emerge from the woods, the path almost double backs on itself as you turn right past a row of large mature ash trees. The views from here are stunning. And here she is, the famous White Nancy. She's a Grade 2 listed landmark which overlooks both Bollington and Rainow. Sitting on the northern end of the Kerridge Ridge, it was originally built as a summer house for a local wealthy family that lived at Inglesleigh Hall around 1815. It was also thought it may have been built to commemorate Waterloo. It was originally built with a doorway, and inside the structure there was a seat around the wall, built in stone, which also surrounded a large stone table. As to the origin of its name, there are several possibilities, one being named after the wealthy family's daughter, Nancy, another after the name of the horse that dragged the large stone round table to the top of the hill. Each year Nancy gets a fresh coat of paint to keep her looking good. This was once done by my very own father, who used to work for the local council as a painter and decorator. Nancy is a much visited and loved icon by visitors and locals alike, and from up here the views are well worth the very steep climb. Dropping down the other side of Kerridge Ridge, we come to the small village of Kerridge. You need to look for this wonderful stile, which is a gap in the wall with steps running over it.
Come on, right. So we're entering the bit that now runs literally through people's gardens. So I'm going to pop the dogs on a lead, and I feel like I should be quiet. Come here, Neve. Neve, come. Good girl. The canopy's so low and so dense here, it's almost dark. And suddenly back into the light of the day. Some stunning trees.
As you walk down these paths, it's hard to believe you're on a right of way. It really does feel like you're walking through somebody's garden. And probably that's because you are. This bit really is a tight squeeze, and there isn't much room around this large stone to navigate 2 border collies and a large rucksack. You need to turn left up some more steps, and again you'll be walking in between people's gardens on this raised bit of the path. And it can get a little precarious in places.
You suddenly come to this sort of derelict building, and the path literally goes through it. Wow. Come on. Come on. Oh, it seems the footpath branches into 2 here. Now, I remember this used to be closed. There was a problem with the path and it was closed for safety reasons. So I always used to come up this way up to the steps. If you do that, you've got to be careful because you come straight out onto the road. But I think I'm going to chance it and see if this is open and safe and okay. If you don't hear from us in a little while, you know it's all gone terribly wrong. Come on.
Do take care, as this path also comes straight out onto the road. Kerridge is a small hamlet that owes its existence to the quarrying industry. This continues to this day on the hill behind, although nowadays it's on a much smaller scale. There was once a coal mine on the hill too. It's thought that Clayton's Tower used to be a chimney top for a furnace which was lower down the hillside, and it's thought this used to power a small tramway which used to take the coal and the stone down the hillside to the canal wharf. So it's through yet another garden, and the path passes the house and disappears into some trees. This will then take you up the hillside and through the working quarry and bring you out on the top of Kerridge Hill. Once you get to the top of the Kerridge Hill, you do a right and then take the first left through this kissing gate. It then descends down the very steep hill back down into Rainow. And this is something that Roy seems to like doing on his back. And that's pretty much it. We're back down into Rainow. So, thanks for joining us on another Wildside Walk. That was Rainow to Kerridge by a White Nancy. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. We're in Rainow again now, and we're just going to walk up through the village to get back to the car. We might stop off at the pub for some refreshments, but first I'm going to let these two have a quick splash around and get cool. Once again, please let us know what you think of the film and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment or even give them a share. I hope you can join us for our next walk. The next walk's going to be an autumn walk, so that really is going to be a special one. And I think it's safe to say that that's the one that will really make you feel alive. So till then, take care and thanks again for watching.